Hello, my name is Lily Peterson. This year for my scenario project, I chose to start the initiative to begin Seneca Valley's first ever Black Student Alliance.
To begin, I will share a little bit of history on Black student unions. The first BSU to be formed on any campus was formed in 1966 at San Francisco State University by two students, Jimmy Garrett and Jerry Bernando. Pictured here is Jerry Garrett on the left and Jerry Bernando on the right. BSUs were originally formed to give voice to Black students at their schools during the Civil Rights Movement. They provided leadership positions for Black students that were rooted in their communities and their schools. These types of student-organized unions and alliances have historically led to civil and social change on their campuses. They have been the beginning for many cultural, educational, and social initiatives while aiming to build leaders and promoting unity. Pictured here is a newspaper clipping of a photo taken in 1970 of a former UCF Black Student Union president. Here is the University of Central Florida's past African American Student Union logo. Current need and purpose for BSAs. BSAs provide a step to foster change and encourage much-needed conversations. The discussions that often are engaged in BSAs are on issues affecting them and surrounding communities, plus cultural, political, social, and historical topics. BSUs and BSAs nationwide are also known to hold a variety of events, ones celebrating different cultures, others that are more lighthearted and made to raise donations for community and city charities. At Seneca, a BSA would be able to help with the lack of cultural events and the many moments a chance to learn about one another goes amiss. An example of this would be the Black Student Alliance contributing to the gathering of information for Black History Month. They also assist in developing skills necessary to become a professionally organized body of students. Structure and principles. Listed here are the general positions that would be held within the BSA. The idea for this structure of the BSA was gathered through researching other schools' government positions and their own BSUs and BSAs, and incorporating the positions in Seneca Valley's High School Student Council. Though student unions are and have historically been geared to their specific community of people, many also encourage diversity in members, making sure to never discriminate against race. These values match closely with Seneca Valley's push for inclusion and equity, and these values would also be held within the Black Student Alliance. Outreach. This year, I also got to interview two former Black student alumni, Forrest Barnes and Brad Banks. After doing research on currently thriving Black student unions and Black student alliances in the Pittsburgh area, I got in contact with Winchester Thurston High School and got to do an interview with their Black student union officers. They gave me great recommendations, and also I built a great connection with another school. After getting the opportunity to speak to Mr. Barnes and Mr. Banks, I learned their experiences are not much different than mine as a Black student at Seneca Valley. A few answers that stood out to me include, both agreed a Black student union/alliance would have benefited them as students at Seneca Valley. Both believed a more blatant push for anti-racism would have improved their experiences at SV. Both experienced a lack of education on Black history, and stated individuals that were mentioned were mainstream leaders such as Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Frederick Douglass, respectively. Both felt as though the connection and speaking with other Black students on their experiences would have made them feel less alone or more eager to embrace their own culture. Here are a few more statements that were made during the interviews that stood out to me. He found himself following a group mentality when it came to speaking on certain topics due to his peers not often having the same interests and societal issues. He was often reminded of his skin color, but overall had a good experience at SV. He has been told some quote-unquote choice words. He believes racism is manifested through the fact it is embedded in the school system. The National Black Student Alliance. The NBSA is a nationally recognized organization sparked by a high schooler named Sky Jackson. The growth of the group has led to the creation of newsletters, blogs, and even hosting discussions with Black leaders. The group is now represented by a group of student panelists and adult advisors. As the Black Student Alliance at Seneca Valley grows, I believe it will be a great opportunity for it to get involved in the National Black Student Alliance. As for the future and current progress of the Black Student Alliance at Seneca Valley, I am currently using a graphic design program to design and send out informationals on Black Student Alliances. I am speaking with a few more administrators to officiate the group. I'm soon going to be gathering statistics from a survey that will be sent out promptly, and I'm brainstorming more ideas for the beginning of the 2021-2022 school year.
Thank you for listening and watching my presentation.